Antarctica is the world's most southern continent, divided into East and West Antarctica. It's also the fifth most expansive continent on Earth. Yet, it's also the planet's highest, driest, windiest, coldest, and iciest continent, with a total of 98% of its 5.5 million square miles, covered in a vast sheet of ice. However, Antarctica hasn't always been covered with ice. The continent lay over the South Pole, without freezing over, for almost 100 million years. Then, about 34 million years ago, a dramatic shift in climate happened at the boundary between the Eocene and Oligocene epochs. The warm greenhouse climate, stable since the extinction of the dinosaurs, became dramatically colder, creating an ice house at the poles that has continued to the present day, making Antarctica one of the most mysterious and talked about land masses on the globe. Since the introduction of Antarctica on Google Maps, many conspiracy theorists have utilized it, making many odd discoveries, ranging from 400-foot ice ships to UFOs, and yes, even pyramids have been spotted on this frozen land. So today, here, on Interstellar Happenings, we'll be taking a look at one of the most mysterious ancient artifacts ever to be discovered, the Piri Reis map. Drawn throughout the great age of discoveries, one of the most beautiful maps to survive, the 1513 world map, drawn by Ottoman admiral and cartographer Ahmed Muhyiddin Piri, is a map that has long been believed to contain a detailed outline of Antarctica, more than 200 years before its discovery. Subsequently, since its discovery, the map has been the object of great debate and controversy amongst cartographers, researchers, and historians. Not only did this map feature excessive annotations and precise representations of the Azores, Canary Islands, Atlantic Islands, and Japan, but historians were astonished to find it included a depiction of Antarctica. However, Antarctica wasn't discovered until 1773, so exactly how could it possibly be on a map, dated 260 years beforehand? Yet another, if not even more fascinating facet of the presence of Antarctica, is that it appears to illustrate the land mass, prior to being covered in ice, a time believed to be over 6,000 years ago. If that holds true, then who unearthed and mapped Antarctica, centuries before its reported discovery? Is this ancient relic proof of advanced ancient civilizations? Does it prove the history of our own civilization is wrong? Or is there a simpler answer to this baffling mystery? So today, here, on Interstellar Happenings, we'll be taking a look at the Piri Reis map. The story of the Piri Reis map began in 1929, when one of the most successful pioneers of Islamic archaeology, Halil Edhem, went through the basement of a Turkish palace, looking for ancient maps at the request of German theologian Gustav Adolf Deismann. While searching, Edhem discovered a really strange artifact. It was a tiny map, inked onto animal skin, although just a piece of it stayed. In the beginning, it appeared like any kind of the other aged maps. Yet, upon closer assessment, something captured the focus of Deismann. The map he examined had actually been drawn and signed in 1513 by Turkish cartographer Hagi Ahmed Muhyiddin Piri, additionally known as Piri Reis. Along with being a cartographer, Piri Reis served in the Turkish Navy, for which he held the ranking of admiral. He stated that he had actually utilized 20 various maps and charts as his resources. 8 of them were Ptolemaic maps, maps of the known world according to the 2nd century Hellenistic or Greek culture, 4 were Portuguese maps, 1 was an Arabic map, and another was the only well-known copy of Christopher Columbus's map. Though, the great debate into the origin of the map was sparked by Professor Charles Hapgood when he published his concept on the Piri Reis map in his publication, Maps of the Ancient Sea Kings in 1965. He, as well as a team of students, at the University of New Hampshire examined the map, as well as located numerous anomalies, such as making use of mercatorial forecast and the incorporation of a pre-ice Antarctica. The Greeks were able to create highly cylindrical maps, based on their understanding of a spherical Earth, though mercatorial forecast was not used by Europeans up until later in the 16th century. They were also able to use astronomy and geometry to compute latitude and longitude. Though outright precision was not feasible until the creation of the chronometer in 1760. While these two tasks, remarkable as they are, could be explained by the use of Greek resource maps and graphs from the age of Alexander, nothing can explain the shocking inclusion of Antarctica. Because of this, Hapgood proposed that the map was based upon materials that predate 4000 BC, prior to any well-known developed languages, or progressive human beings' existence. But this bold conclusion implied that everything we knew about ancient civilizations was wrong. Based upon what we understand, these worlds didn't possess the devices or capabilities to draw up continents on such a grand scale. So, just how could it have been accomplished? This discovery motivated Hapgood to come to the only final thought possible, that ancient mariners had actually mapped out the Antarctic coastline, long prior to the lands being frozen over some 6,000 years prior. He mentioned the topographical portrayal of the coast seemed so accurate that whatever sophisticated society created the map would need to have possessed some sort of aerial mapping capabilities, suggesting the theory of a prehistoric super-civilization to be both nautical and aerial masters, leading to further speculation of either an Atlantean or alien civilization. He believed that Piri Reis would have to have utilized one of these advanced ancient maps to develop his own, yet fell short to cite it. After observation, Hapgood found there were many noteworthy distinctions in the sizes of various coastlines on Reis's map to contemporary maps. Some locations were missing altogether. However, he attributed this to replicating errors made by Reis. To battle this problem, he took it upon himself to add a few of the missing sections, based upon the source maps Reis had actually used. However, then a few problems arose. After filling in a few of the vacant areas, as well as modifying land masses to account for errors, Hapgood discovered that the map now had 5 separate equators. After that, he theorized that the Earth went through a change in its axis around 9500 BC, which displaced Antarctica, and relocated it thousands of miles to the south, where it ended up being covered in ice. The magic of the Piri Reis map depended on the precision of its depiction of Antarctica. However, skeptics are quick to explain that Antarctica on Reis's map hardly resembles the real continent in all. Rather, those hesitant of the Piri Reis theories point out that the map is a reasonable representation of the coast of South America, with modern-day features of the shore and interior shown. If this is not just the coastline of South America, that would suggest South America, and also Antarctica, were joined at Uruguay, in which Argentina is a recent enhancement to the landmass. This disagreement infers that what is believed to be Antarctica on the Piri Reis map is instead the lower part of the South American continent. Remarkably, Reis notes back up this concept. In his notes, he mentions this region is very hot and full of snakes. While these descriptions wouldn't fit in with what they understood about Antarctica at the time, it might very well describe the Amazon rainforest. While this argument possibly dismisses the presence of Antarctica on the Piri Reis map, the mystery of the Piri Reis map continues to baffle and astound researchers to this very day. The true question is whether or not Antarctica is the identifiable continent on the Piri Reis map, or any of the other anomalous maps? If it is, could the Piri Reis map have been based on the documents of a yet undiscovered, ancient advanced civilization? One that could possess technology enabling them to travel, and accurately chart the globe. With other anomalous maps having been found since the discovery of the Piri Reis that are identical to the ice-free continent, as only 20th century satellite technology has been able to identify, the mystery has only deepened. Does the map show an ice-free Antarctica from over 6,000 years ago? Is it proof that an alien technology once existed on Earth? Until there is absolute proof to support one or the other theory, the arguments will continue. Perhaps maybe leading us someday to the truth behind this truly astonishing relic. So what do you think about the Piri Reis map? Comment below, and let me know your thoughts on this truly unusual map. And if you like this video, subscribe now, for more interstellar happenings.